What's going on, you guys? We're back with another episode, and today we're going to be talking about the Indianapolis Colts versus the Chicago Bears. Another preview in the making. Of course, I didn't make the last two due to my sickness, but I'm back to talk really quickly about the Colts versus the Bears, which should be an interesting matchup. It's going to be my first game the whole season, week 3. Not a bad way to start, in my opinion. The Colts are 0-2, looking to bounce back to try to find some type of, morale chemistry boost, morale boost, anything of that nature to try to figure out to get back on the right path and on the right side of the season. The season's still early, so they have a chance to turn it around and figure it out. So against the Chicago Bears, which could be formidable opponents, former coach for the Indianapolis Colts, Matt Eberflus, is in Chicago. So this should be an interesting one. We already asked Zaire Franklin how he feels about it. He has no comment towards that. So there might be a little tension between the two, but we don't know that. We're just on the outside looking in. This should be a good game. The Colts are trying to figure out how to, how to win a game. They're trying to figure out their system intact. They're trying to figure out the team in general. They're still young. They got a young QB in Anthony Richardson. So he's trying to figure it out as well. He's been putting them in position to win games, in my opinion, if you ask me. Of course, it doesn't look perfect if you look at just the box scores and things of that nature. But if you watch him play, he's been putting his team in position to win the game. So they just have to go out there and win. It's that simple. Still trying to find their niche on the offensive side. I think running the ball a little bit more this game against the Chicago Bears could be a good idea to do so with a Jonathan Taylor in the backfield who's been struggling as well a little bit this season. I think, this could be his coming out party for the game. I think this could be a huge game for Jonathan Taylor. Of course, a lot of people question Jonathan Taylor's ability in the passing game, but that can be, an issue in the back burners if they just go out there and implement the run a little bit better. Maybe you scheme it up a little bit better with designs. So Jonathan Taylor, in my opinion, I think is going to have a big game against Chicago. Anthony Richardson is going to look a little bit more polished going into the season. This is week 3, going into week 4. Week 5 might be the actual identity for the Colts to figure out how they're going to be looking forward to the rest of the season, offensively and defensively, schematic wise. So I think this game, Jonathan Taylor could be having a huge input on and like pretty much putting his staple on the offense this game. So I think running the ball might be more of the scheme. In my opinion, I think that should be, especially against the Chicago Bears. I think Chicago Bears are formidable opponents in the pass defense. So forcing the ball down the field from what we're usually seeing from Anthony Richardson to Alec Pierce and things of that nature, I think it should be toned down a little bit. We might get a Josh Downs debut as well this week, so that's another good sign for the Colts moving forward. So Jonathan Taylor looks like he should be having a big game, in my opinion. I think that's going to be my go-to guy for this game. So hopefully the offense could put up a little bit more points than what we're used to seeing, and put it up a little bit earlier than what we're used to seeing as well. I think the Colts score formidably late in the last 2 games, so maybe early off in this game they can start off by having a good game. Now let's transition to the most important side, which is the defensive side. The defensive side has been lackluster thereof. So, like I said, Zaire might have a little bit more of a push this week. So I think the defense is going to figure it out a little bit. Shout out to Nick Cross. He happens to be leading in tackles in the NFL as well. Nick Cross has been having himself a pretty decent season. So I think the defense might have a little bit more to go with this game. Of course, they're still trying to figure it out as well with the lack of secondary in the cornerback room. But when you look at things on the opposite side, the defensive line has been struggling as well. We don't know if Latu is going to be fully clear to play. I think he should be sitting down this week, in my opinion, if I was to choose. But I still think, with Avery coming in, Janard Avery coming in, of course, we still don't have DeForest Buckner. But I think this defense can still go out there and make some pressure just due to the depth of rotations that we have on that front 7. So I do think this defensive line is going to have themselves a pretty decent week going up against Caleb Williams in that offense. That offense could be pretty sneakily good, but they've been a little rusty as well. The Chicago Bears offense has been rusty. So, like I said, this could be a pretty decent matchup. It's not going to be high scoring, in my opinion. So it's probably going to be both teams could probably put up about 20 points if anything. But I'm going to go more like maybe 16 or something in that nature, just due to both teams struggling. So this should be a good matchup, in my opinion. I said more so the defense could go out there and put some pressure up. So it should be interesting if they can go out there and send some more blitzes and things of that nature to try to, get some type of momentum and groove going on the defensive side. I think they should send some more pressure on the young rookie Caleb Williams. So this should be interesting to see how the defense could more implement a system with the lack thereof of what they have in secondary. How could they, pretty much disguise their struggles? How can they hide those things? Those things are all questions that I ask myself going up against a Chicago Bears team, like I said, this early as well. They just played the Green Bay Packers with no Jordan Love. They had Malik Willis. And, you seen what that's pretty much how I'm going to view this Chicago Bears game. It's like going up against a backup, in my opinion, because you have a rookie QB on the other side, so he's going to go out there and do some crazy things. You just got to go ahead and pick it off. So it's going to be interesting to see how this Colts defense goes into this week with the injury depth, and how could they pretty much transition themselves from two losses and try to go in the mindset of being 0-0 and starting off fresh. So all of these things are going to be super important to see how they're going to figure it out. I do think the Colts can still turn things around this season. It's still early, like I said. It's only week 3, so you can't panic too soon. Like I said, Jonathan Taylor and this offense, I think it's going to be the wheels that keeps to get the train rolling. So it's going to be exciting. I'm going to watch this game. It's going to be. I think I might be a good luck charm because I do feel super confident this week in the Colts winning this week. The last 2 weeks, like I said, there was two formidable opponents that might be in playoff contention toward the end of the season, and Chicago Bears might be on the opposite side of that direction. So this could be a good week for the Colts to turn it around and start to figure things out. Of course, most fans might not picture this game to be as important, but I think this might be one of the most important games so far this season because this game can pretty much tend to the direction of you figuring it out or you struggling. Like I said, week 5 might be the biggest turnaround in the season. So it should be interesting to see what happens when we get to that. But like I said, this week is the most important week so far in the season because you have a chance to change the direction of your season and your mindset of your players moving forward. So this game is super important, but I do have faith in this team to figure it out and turn it around. But you guys let me know your thoughts in the comment section. How do you feel about this game? Who do you think is going to go off on both sides? If you're a Bears fan or Colts fans, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. And until next time, this is Marcus. I'll see you guys later.